Thrifting ain't easy, unless you're watching me. Welcome, you're watching the Thrift Store Rundown, where we bring Hollywood home on a budget. Today, we're all about kicking some glass ceilings. That's right, we're focusing on Women's History Month this week. I should apologize for doing so at the very tail end of it in March, but hey, better almost late than never, and really, it's never ever too late to let the women in your life, and the ones that aren't in your life but you still feel connected to, know that you care. So this week, we're going to start by once again taking another deep dive into my peculiar childhood TV viewing habits. One of them included sitting in front of the TV daily in this very room with a stack of crackers and cheese whiz, watching Lifetime's 2-season-long Cook Yourself Thin. Healthy makeovers of comfort food classics done by the hands of co-host Harry Eastwood, who did the original Cook Yourself Thin over in London, Candice Kumai, who has a cookbook of her very own, which I'll profile at another time, and the subject of today's video, Allison Fishman. I didn't know it at the time, but she actually was one of my childhood crushes. Spunky, vivacious, cute as a button, and so darn caring and helpful to each and every one of her guests. Yeah, I have a thing for the caregivers just as much as I do for the cougars. Anyway, this is her cookbook. You can trust a skinny cook. 140 recipes that love you back. How much do they love me? As much as I loved her at the time. Oh, and by the way, the childhood crush no longer exists. But still, this was picked up for a real crush-worthy price. I really crushed this one. Half off $4.99 from Red Vine Blue Thrift Store. It was a Wiley publication, and Wiley did have a promo video featuring the author self-explaining the origins of this book and its mission. Unfortunately, they struck it down. But don't worry, I know exactly what this book is about. I know the first thing to highlight in here. A personal autograph from Allison herself. It's actually a handwritten message for someone named Tara. Dear Tara, or Tara, really. Word has it you're a fantastic, healthy cook. I hope you enjoy these simple recipes. Happy Mother's Day, XOXO, Allison. I don't know who this Tara or Tara is, but she's due a thank you, and if you're still regretting actually donating this to a thrift store, don't worry about it. Tomorrow's another day. Hint, hint for you Gone with the Wind fanatics. Anyway, the recipes in here are divided into these chapters. Good morning, breakfast and brunch. Salad days, crisp salads and homemade dressings. Slurp, soups and stews. Something to munch, snacks and dips. Twirl your fork. Pasta and noodles. Veg out, veggie sides. Can't do carbs, starchy sides. Much depends on dinner, meats and mains. And of course, saving room for dessert. Before we get to the recipes in here, and by the way, there's no real rhyme or reason to the recipes I'm going to showcase. I'm just going to highlight a bit of fresh takes and new twists, on contemporary favorites. And I'm going to make sure that each and every recipe, including this first one, has a photograph. Lucy Safer is the photographer. She deserves a bit of credit. Let's get started with the spinach and feta frittata. That's in the breakfast and brunch section. That'll take you about, 30 minutes to whip up, making 6 servings, 15 minutes of prep. And each and every recipe in here comes with nutritional information per serving. These are brief nutritional stats, how many calories, carbs, grams of fiber, and fat, and protein that each recipe contains if you're on a diet. As you can tell here, Lucy Safer once again does a bait-up job. Next up, we have here Caesar salad with scallop and herb croutons. Additionally, each recipe contains some kitchen tips and skinny tips. Kitchen tips in this case give you ingredient and component preparation tips, along with alternatives if you can't find some of the ingredients called for, and very few of them actually call for you making a trip to a specialty health food store. This is that commonplace and really sensible for today's diet-conscious times. Next up is a classic French onion soup. We also have here chicken satay with a spicy peanut sauce. And you see the skinny tip right here? These skinny tips tell you the benefits of some of the ingredients' nutritional value and how to make the recipes even more nutritious without altering the flavor too much for you to hate it. Now, at the end of the day, she says, if it's not healthy, if it doesn't taste terrific, what's the point of making it? Above all, they must taste delicious. That's one of the main goals of cooking yourself thin. You gotta be able to enjoy your food so you can enjoy the process of losing weight. We have here rigatoni with sausage and broccoli rabe. We also got a fennel gratin. We have quinoa with orange, ginger, parsley, and pine nuts. Of all the grains that I've never tried over the years, I would still want to avoid rice because it's kind of plain. Maybe brown rice I'll give a chance to. But quinoa would be at the top of my list of grains that I want to try. It's a superfood, super nutritious. But it's only up to you to make it super delicious. And if you don't know how to do that, this could be a pretty good starting point for you. Quinoa with orange, ginger, parsley, and pine nuts. For our main dish, we have here seared pork chops with sauteed apples and leeks. That's right, we're bringing a classic Brady Bunch combination back to the modern day forefront. We have here a flourless chocolate cake to finish the meal. And this is actually the very last recipe in the cookbook. And that'll take you all in all an hour and 15 minutes to make, and that'll make a dozen servings. One slice will give you 217 calories, 24 grams of carbs, 2 grams of fiber, 4 grams of protein, 14 grams of fat in total, 8 of them being saturated fats. A small price to pay for something this decadent, without actually feeling decadent on your waistline. I know I'm speeding this up as per usual, but there's more than meets the eye in this one. All the recipes are pretty sensible to do, and in the recipe descriptions, Allison's spunky, vivacious attitude and some of her journalism wording comes into play. She was a food journalist and editor, I assume at Martha Stewart Living Omni Media, before she entered into television. Oh, and by the way, she actually shifted careers. No longer is she a celebrity chef, she's now a renowned career coach. I should have highlighted this at the beginning, but I want to focus on the 10 commandments in here. And what are they? 10 commandments for your best body. And they're all pretty darn practical from 1 to 10. The most analytical here being number 2. Eating 10 times your desired weight in calories when you're trying to lose weight. When she was the co-host of Cook Yourself Thin, she and her comrades devised a simple equation for helping their guests get a better body, which ultimately leads to a better life. Take your desired weight and add a 0 next to that weight. More simply, take your desired weight and multiply it by 10, and that determines how many calories the guest should be eating per day, along with a healthy amount of exercise, drinking plenty of fluids, and getting plenty of rest. All part of these 10 commandments here. So for example, if you want to weigh 140 pounds, you would have to eat 1,400 calories per day. And if you want to weigh 160, 1,600 calories. You get it. So those are your 10 commandments for your best body, or 10 demandments, as Angry Grandpa would say. As awesome as his Cooking with Grandpa segments were, he could have used a little bit of help in the nutrition department from Allison, or maybe keep it at home and have Pickle Boy help him, but that wouldn't really help his taste either. In any event, you can trust the Skinny Cook. It's the ideal cookbook for anyone who wants to learn how to take control of their health by taking charge in the kitchen, with nutritious, delicious meals served up in the proper portions. Get cooking and get in shape at the same time with You Can Trust a Skinny Cook, which retails for, should have highlighted that at the beginning too, $29.95 in the US and $35.95 in Canada. Because of the autograph and because of its everyday sensibility, not to mention, it's cute as a button to look at, from the inside out, of course. I gotta give it the full enchilada. If you can eat the full enchilada here, and I assume you can. 5 out of 5 claps. If you can't trust your lackluster dietitian, at least in terms of your actual diet, who can you trust? I got the answer for you. A childhood crush you didn't even know you wanted, and I assume now you won't be able to do was out. Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the flip side.